450 times plus.
And probably hears a lot of the same stories, I'm imagining.
Yeah, I get that a lot. He's like, you keep telling the same. I'm like, I only have so many stories, man.
Can't help you, yeah.
I try to come up with new ones, but welcome back, Inebri-art. We're in studio, which we don't get to do nearly as much, although I think this might be 2 in a row. Or like maybe 1, then Zoom, then. So we're on a bit of a streak. That's great. And we are joined today by Michael Abatsis.
Nice, yep.
Yeah?
Yep.
Okay. Comic book creator who's at our Pages and Pints event. And it's been a while since we had a comic book creator. So I'm like, why don't you come on the show? And then he's like, hey, I brought beer. And I'm like, I love you. So why Lord Hobo? You said you love Lord Hobo?
Yeah, ever since I got into like drinking.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
For our listeners who aren't local, Lord Hobo is a craft brewery.
Right.
Just realized I'm like, that makes no sense to somebody. So,
no, yeah, I went through like an initial phase of just being like a super IPA guy.
Yep.
Like annoyingly IPA guy, and but I really just genuinely like almost everything they make. I love it.
Yeah, I really haven't had anything that I disliked from them that I can think of. I kind of got a little IPA'd out because everybody and their brother was making IPAs.
Yep.
And I feel like some of that had, like, I feel like there's more diversity now in the types of beer, which is nice. But we travel to a lot of breweries.
Yeah.
So my new thing now is they'll be like, oh, what do you have? I'll be like, what is your lowest ABV that isn't a sour?
Yep.
Because we'll drive an hour and a half somewhere. And you're like, I just have to be careful.
I grabbed the 617 instead of the boom sauce for that reason.
Yeah, boom sauce. Was it
also
617 ABV? Oh,
yeah.
Nice. That's funny.
It's a little lower than...
Yeah. Boom sauce is a big one. We did an event at Mayflower where we met, and they brought back their 400, and I had a bunch of them and forgot it was a double IPA and not just an IPA. And I'm like, I have another, like, will you? And I'm like, no, if you're asking, probably not. Water, I guess?
Keeping you in check.
Yeah. Well, that's the nice part about having friends. They keep an eye out. But, so you have 2 issues out.
Yes.
Which I appreciate. Book is called Shadowsphere, which I don't think I said. Give us the elevator pitch, the quick synopsis.
Quickest synopsis that I use it at the tables anyway. A high school girl teams up with the Prince of the Underworld to fight off a demon invasion of Earth.
Okay.
And the extended version of that is that it's like a Monster of the Week type thing.
Sure.
I grew up on Power Rangers and Turtles,
Yeah.
So there's just every week there's a guy they have to fight.
Bad guy, they gotta beat the bad guy.
Exactly. So it's inspired by stuff like that, but it's a love letter to I guess more so Power Rangers and shows like that in general.
Yeah.
Tokusatsu, does that ring a bell?
God bless you.
That's like a genre of Japanese television where they, whenever you get hit, sparks fly out, and they use camera tricks to force perspective, like with Godzilla.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like heavily inspired by that stuff.
Okay.
Without being a direct reference to it.
Sure.
So yeah, but so it's an action with a slice of romance, like a romantic subplot.
Yeah.
And it's just meant to be like fun and fights and magic and friendship.
I'm a big I grew up on Scooby-Doo. I mean, there's nothing more Monster of the Week than Scooby-Doo.
For sure. Yeah.
And I mean, I remember every once in a while a show come out and they are kind of like, well, we don't know if this is gonna the show that jumps in mind. You ever seen Reaper?
That was a cartoon?
No.
Oh, no.
Live action.
Yeah, I had seen that.
And it's like this.
It was like 3 seasons of that show, right?
Was like the kid is somehow like half devil or some shit like that. and he has to.
Doesn't he he gains devil powers, right?
But he doesn't. So
yeah. He doesn't know he's the devil's son.
But he's given these objects, and he has to go and hunt down the demon of the week that escaped hell.
I forgot about that show. I like that.
And it was the first season was great, and then the second season they try to build more lore and story, and I'm just kind of lost what was fun about it. The fun thing was here's a weird object, go figure out how to get the bad guy into the weird object.
I gotta watch that again. I forgot.
Yeah,
about that show. That's kind of an older one, right? Reaper.
Yeah, and the only reason why it's been fresh in my head is I've been getting into spooky seasons. I've been watching horror movies on in the background here.
As you do, yeah.
And I watched, I'd never seen it before, and I feel like more people need to see this. I think it's called Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
I've definitely heard of it. So I can't remember if I've seen it or not.
It's the kind of comic relief guy from Reaper, and Alan Tudyk.
Okay.
Who's amazing, and there's the group of teenagers going to the camp horror movie setup, and they come across these two scary rednecks at a rest stop, and that's Alan Tudyk and this other guy, and then it kind of stops following the teens and starts following them, and they're just the most lovable, nice rednecks. They're going to this super creepy cabin. He's like, oh, it's my vacation home that I've been saving for, and I want to fix it up and blah blah blah. And then through all these weird twists of fate, the kids are convinced that these two lovable rednecks are out to kill them. And from the rednecks perspective is they keep killing themselves around us.
Okay.
Someone goes to tackle one of them, and just at the right time as he ducks down, and the person jumps into a wood chipper. So he's I don't know, the kid just dove into the wood chipper and committed suicide. And it's just this total role reversal. It's bloody as hell.
Yeah.
And there's
for laughs, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
but then it works up to having a good big bad evil villain.
Okay.
And
nice.
I was this is totally different than anything I've seen before, and I'm kind of disappointed I didn't watch it sooner.
Huh. And that had the same kid that was in Reaper. That's why. Gotcha.
Kind of the chubby bearded one that was the funny best friend.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, for a second I'm how the hell did I get into that conversation? So what made you want, I assume you've been a comic book fan. You don't get a lot of people be I'm going to make a comic book, but I've never read one.
Well, okay. I mean, about that, I'm still more of a cartoon fan and a movie fan than a comic book fan. So in a sense, I'm an outsider, but I did go to school for it. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So it's I do have a genuine love for comics, but just visuals.
Go to school for art, or
yeah.
Okay.
For I have a BFA, but I a focus in what was it? I think it's literally says comics on it. You know?
Oh,
what
no
I mean?
kidding!
Yeah,
that's funny.
But I do just visual storytelling in general.
Where'd you go to school?
Up in Manchester, actually.
New Hampshire?
Yep. New England College. Well, at the time it was New Hampshire Institute of Art.
Yep.
And then they got kind of bought out by New England College.
Yeah.
So I went there, and I have a passion for storytelling, and that's basically it. And comics is just a really fun way to be able to tell whatever story you want without being held back.
Kind of there's a low bar to enter in a good way.
Yeah. You could do it all yourself.
Yeah.
Which is as much as I'd love to work with a team, if I had the money, I would. Right. You know what I mean? But I don't. Yeah. So you can just get in there.
And I feel just the comic book community is so used to and seen so many successful self-published comics that if you go to Comic-Con, people are very willing to be what's the story about? Ooh, I love demons and whatever, and willing to buy.
It's very indie friendly.
Yeah. The one thing that I think is one of the biggest issues with indie publishers, and I totally understand why, but they'll be like, oh, this is my first issue, my comic book series. It's going to be 12 issues or ongoing, blah, blah, blah. And then you see the person 6 years later and you're like, is issue 2 out? And you're like, no, but it's coming out soon.
Yeah.
So that can be really tough, I think.
Yeah, you're totally right. And you're right about it. That's true. And then you're also right that it's like, it's understandable, but it's frustrating at the same time.
Yeah, because it's like, it's hard to build that momentum because, you know, you could be the biggest fan of issue 1, but you're only going to buy it once.
Yeah.
You know, and I just seen it time and time. And, you know, life happens and it's not your full-time job and it's costing you money to do it. Right. And if you break even, you're a superhero.
Yeah.
You know, it's usually losing money. So,
yeah. Which I will do this weekend, actually. I'm going to Granite State Comic-Con up in Manchester.
Oh, yeah.
I got a table there. Which, you know, I'm not trying to be pessimistic, but like it's an expensive table. That's what I mean. I'm gonna go negative on it.
That one's been running a long time. That's the guy from the guys from Double Mint.
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
I used to own a comic book shop.
What's that?
I used to own a comic book shop.
Oh, okay. Right on. Cool. So
I think I probably did the first Granite State.
That's epic. Yeah, all right. Well, yeah. Last year was like I'm an idiot for getting it wrong, but like the 30, 50, some milestone anniversary for the Turtles. They had like the biggest one ever last year.
Yeah.
It was
because Eastman and Laird are from New Hampshire.
Yeah. Eastman, I don't think Laird was there, but Eastman did show up and he had a line out around the corner for people. Everyone showed up with Turtle swag. It was really cool.
Is McFarlane going to be there? Did I hear that right?
For this one?
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
Oh, okay. I thought someone told me that,
but yeah, I mean, so to your earlier point, I am not getting this done as fast as I want, but I am enjoying it.
Well, you have 2 out already.
Yes.
And that's, like, I always tell people when they start doing podcasts, I'm like, if you make it to episode 27, you're in a good space. Because most fade before that.
Yeah, I'm hoping to stick around.
Yeah. And so, like, you already have 2 out, so you're already kind of, like, ahead of a lot of people, because just the number of people that I saw, like, with issue 1 for years. But again, it's tough. It's not easy.
No, it is tough. Yeah.
And I respect it. The other thing that I would see a lot was everyone tried to write humor, and hopefully that's kind of, it might have been just a moment in time when everyone was doing it. But humor is like the hardest thing to write, I think.
Yeah, I feel this doesn't have a ton of humor in it yet.
I mean, some's fine, but like they would write a book meant to be funny.
Yeah. Well, then you got to be good at it.
Yeah, and that's a really hard thing to do.
Yeah, so. With stuff like this, you know, this is heavily influenced by anime. And a lot of that stuff is the humor is driven just by character interactions, and that's a little more effortless. But I'm also not writing a comedy, so it hasn't been an issue for me so far. But
now you said it's a monster of the week, but is there like do you have an end?
Yeah,
in mind?
It's a serial.
Yeah,
so it's that's something that I dislike about those. I'm not a big fan of episodic like fiction in general.
Yeah.
I want things to happen. I don't want to go back. Like the joy of an episodic is that it returns to the status quo at the end of each one. I hate that.
Okay.
So this is a serial that masquerades as an episodic. So it follows like an episodic formula, but every episode something has changed. Like we're working towards the climax.
Oh, interesting.
Because I both love and don't love that about that kind. So I'm trying to channel both those at the same time.
What was like? So you went to art school. You have a BFA in comics, which is crazy that you can do that now. But I mean, was it harder to write, or like did you have a background in writing?
No. I really didn't, and it was a big blind spot.
Yeah.
It wasn't even until I was in school, like taking, you know, English, the required English stuff, where it dawned on me, I was like, bro, you've never like, you know what I mean? You've never
all those books that I was supposed to read.
Yeah. You've never thought about this at like a really critical level before. But it's been a lot of fun reading and listening to books about story theory, and it's been an absolute blast. But like I said, I wasn't prepared for it at all. And part of my reason for starting this series is to kind of grow and make a name at the same time.
Yeah.
So this is me, like, as much as I'm doing it, I'm trying to figure out how writing works, and this is like an experiment for me.
Sure, yeah.
That I gave myself license to do.
There was a couple of guys, like, back when I used to do Comic-Cons, whose name I am not going to be able to recall because I'm not good at that. I knew the artist fairly well. The writer I didn't know, but they're the guys that do Atomic Robo. No.
I guess
it's excellent. It's great.
I'll get a visual aid going.
Yeah.
Maybe I've seen it.
So they put together this book, and they put it out, and because they love to do it, and both of them ended up working for like DC and Marvel at different points because Scott, not Wayland, that's the guy in Stone Temple Pilots. Scott Wagner. Yes. And I don't remember the writer's name. But yeah, they kind of took their project and it gained popularity, and they kind of cut their teeth on it, and then able to spun that into writing for Marvel and whatnot. So,
that's pretty much my hope. That's like my target. I mean, I don't have the style or the, I don't want to say skill set. It sounds like self-deprecating, but I don't have the Marvel juice. Do you know what I'm saying?
The Marvel juice.
I'm not headed in that direction either.
But I mean,
it's totally fine.
There's so many different ones now, and like Image is so good because you can put out your comic and still maintain the rights to the characters.
Yeah, something more like that would be fine. Yeah, I have a. So I'm writing concurrently with this. I'm writing a graphic novel series that this will lead to that, hopefully. Unrelated, but like that's my, and then I'll that's the thing I'll pitch to Image or whoever is in the business at the time. So.
Yeah, it's crazy like how big that industry has become, and like it's just like the proving ground almost for like movie ideas. Like if you have a movie idea, writing a script, you're almost better off writing a comic and then trying to get the comic book noticed.
That's an interesting point, because Hollywood, I mean, this isn't controversial. I feel like Hollywood's too afraid to take any risks, and that's why you need to prove it on paper first.
I mean, and that's and like with the, if you put out a comic and you're selling merch and there's an action figure, and suddenly they're like, well, we already have a fan base built in that want to see this movie. It's much less of a risk, and I get it. I mean, they're risking $100 billion to make a movie.
Yeah,
they should be a little concerned. But it's just an interesting time, especially now with like streaming services. It seems like there's a lot of other avenues to kind of like get that stuff made. So Hauser's, you did Pages and Pints. I'm assuming you've done other events?
Yeah, so I mean, the biggest one I've done was last year. I did Granite State as well. And I debuted with issue 1, and I wanted to see if I could get issue 3 out by the time. But I didn't make it. But
you have issue 2. That's still like.
Yeah, I did one in a however month time span. So. I'll be there with issue 2, and next year I'll be there with issue 3. Like,
right. That's what I'm saying. Is people come back and they may not see you that may be the only time they get to see you, but every time they see you, there's gonna be a new book. That's that's building that fan base. What have you gotten like response back from it yet, or like
in terms of
just from people reading it? Like, has anyone reached out? Or
I haven't had anyone like from the conventions or that I sold it. No, I haven't had anyone reach out yet.
I'll be curious to see like kind of if you have like return customers from last year.
That would make my day,
dude. It's so. I've had some of the weirdest interactions doing Comic-Cons. Like I had my comic book store that went away, And then for a while I was selling, my artwork, and I ended up pigeonholing myself into this weird like fan art thing, and I just lost interest.
That's tough.
Yeah, I didn't even mean to do it. But you start talking to people and be like, oh no, I was looking for your table. Like I've bought an artwork from you before, and you're like, oh, that's weird. And we were doing Rhode Island Comic Con, and it was me, my business partner now, Fish, who was there just to kind of like help out and watch the table and whatever, and another artist friend of mine. And it was the day of setup was Halloween, so they threw a Halloween party after setup.
Oh, cool.
And so we're hanging there drinking, and there's like a mechanical bull and whatever. And one of the photographers come up. She's like, "Can I take a picture of you guys?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure, whatever." So geez, whatever. And then she like motions towards me. She's like, "I'm a really big fan." And then walked away. And I was like, "Who did she think I was?" And my buddy's like, "What does she think you're you?" And I'm like, "That's fucking weirder." So it's funny that you get like, I mean, I was very humble. I didn't have a compa credit. I ended up doing some like sketch cards for like a trading card company. Like they do the insert sketch cards. But like I knew who I was. Like I was there just selling doodles and drawings and whatever. And so just to see people respond that way is just so weird.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to it, but I know it will be weird.
Yeah.
I have had positive feedback online.
Yeah.
Because I released the first two online in digital format as well.
Yeah.
Like I'd rather just get the fans than
Yeah, for sure.
get
Yeah.
people off. So I've had some positive feedback online, on TikTok. So I think my audience kind of skews younger with the book and the style.
What do you do to promote it on TikTok?
I'll show like in progress drawings, time lapses, like character bios.
Yeah.
What else have I got?
Because like I watch a fair amount of TikTok, but I'm just trying to figure out like how to promote Inebri-art. Part of it is we do so many goddamn different things, because I'm a little all over the road, and that's what I like. I don't get bored because
art is like this boundless thing.
And so I just don't know. One, I don't want to learn to like, because it's not like just shooting a video. You gotta edit it, and I just don't have the brain power to like stop what I'm doing and learn how to do it.
No, for sure. I'm not good at it either.
Yeah.
And it's hard, and this is why people pay like a Gen Z to come in and do it for them, for sure.
Yeah.
It's difficult. Yeah.
And my kid says my TikTok's garbage. And they just got enough followers where they can get TikTok shop sponsors or some sort of thing like that.
Yours?
My kid, yeah.
Oh, your kid?
Yeah,
your kid is on TikTok?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, they do their artwork, and they have like one of those big furry head things with the gloves.
Oh, okay, word. Yeah.
So I mean, some of it's just them with their fursona. I'm learning. Yeah, but I mean, it's just like I just don't know exactly how and what would be worth promoting, and like I could take clips of the podcast and like put it up, and people have done that with our show when they've been on it, but it's just like just seems like so much work.
Yeah, no, it is, and it's not a guarantee either. Like
for sure.
I don't know exactly what your demographic is, but I feel like
so it's weird. Like I couldn't even tell you for the podcast what our demographic is, because we have such a broad range of people on the show.
Yeah.
For our events is very much like 30 to mid to late 50s females. Like that's
okay.
Like that's our bread and butter. Those are the people that buy tickets to the paint nights, but now we're branching out into other things, like with the punk rock show, and so I don't know which I think is part of that problem is
Yeah,
I don't know how to communicate with a broad range of people.
It's tough.
Yeah.
Yeah. You'd almost have to like pick something and then,
and promote like one thing and not the other.
Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. But it's easy enough for me because I just put all my stuff on it.
It's just where it's like a print format. I wasn't sure like how you did it, but it makes sense with like time lapse drawings. I could see.
Yeah. And then I mean, some people have asked about like why I do certain things in the process, so it like spawns like a little bit of conversation.
Yeah.
So, but I've had the most success on there, and I think it's because there's a big artist community and a lot of younger people use it.
Oh yeah,
I think my art just kind of. I mean, it wasn't like designed to speak to like younger people, but I just think it does, just because of the characters are.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Anime inspired.
I watch a lot of different artists on there, and some are, like time lapse or clips of them working. There's one that I follow who has audio to visual kinesthesia. So like when she hears music, she sees light.
Oh, okay.
And so she'll listen to a song and then paint what she sees.
Oh, that's fun.
And she'll be like, this is the song. Tell me if like you see this, like
if it makes
sense.
It makes sense.
Yeah. Which is fucking smart because you're driving that, that so much of it is that too, like driving that interaction.
Yeah.
So you said you're working on issue 3.
Yes.
Do you have like an ETA when that's due out?
I'd love to have it done by the end of this year. That would be great. I mean, I've got all the pencils done, and I'm doing, I do all of it. So I'm working on the inks now.
Yeah.
And
that's the other tough thing is when you do all of it.
Yeah.
It's like you don't get that. I'm going to start writing issue 4 while they're inking issue 3 or whatever.
So it's harder for it to like fold in on itself. And so I'm trying to also buffer ahead and do some thumbnails for issue 4. You know what I mean?
Oh,
so there's so much to be doing at the same time. But I lost my train of thought.
Issue 3 coming out. Do you do it all digitally?
Yeah.
So that's the other thing that I still haven't, and even people my age are like all drawing on tablets now, and I'm just still can't. I don't know. It just doesn't feel right.
Well, I mean, maybe this is unpopular to say, but I do feel like the traditional stuff is just cooler and looks better, but it's not for me. Like, I just can't work that way. It's just funny because I grew up traditional, right?
Yeah.
I'm old enough that I grew up before tablets
I mean, I feel like everyone grows up traditionally because you start with crayons,
Well, maybe not anymore. You start with an iPad in your hand now, and I'm not trying to be
I suppose
political when I say that.
You're right. I suppose that's true. Damn. Because it's tough to draw on the wall with a stylus.
Yeah. So, I grew up with a pencil, and I loved it, but I can't go back now. If you put a pencil on my hand, it looks like a different artist than when I'm working on my tablet.
And like, I totally get the idea behind it because a buddy of mine was showing me like a watercolor program. And he's just like, boom, it's dry. Boom, it's not dry anymore. Now I can change that, different layers. And I'm like, I get it. I don't know. It just, something that, like, I want my hands, like, there's fucking paint on the table right there for when I was working on something. And, most of my clothes have paint on them in some way. To me, there's just something that part of it is I want to be making a mess.
Yeah.
And, I want my hands to be dirty. And
I can totally understand that. I hate the mess.
Yeah.
So it's like, it really is the perfect medium for me. Like when I was in school, that they would not let us use digital on some assignments.
Yeah.
And that was always my worst work because I don't know if you're like this, but I'm like crippled by
charcoal. Say charcoal.
Oh no! I
fucking hate charcoal.
I was just gonna say in like fear of failures kind of stuff, but go on. Yeah, it's charcoal. Yeah,
I can't. It's a texture thing.
Oh,
it makes my skin crawl.
The heebie-jeebies when you use it.
Yeah.
Okay, I get that.
And
especially like on newsprint, it can. There's a, like,
oh God!
Sorry.
It's giving me goosebumps just even like thinking about it. It's just, it's and that sound that it makes. Ugh. So I would always go to like Conti crayons or something that had like a little more like wax to
softer.
it. Yeah. But, oh God. And then they're like, we're gonna do Vine charcoal. I'm like, just shoot me.
Right.
Oh God, it's the worst. Oh God.
I mean, I'm not a big fan of the mess. The sound and the texture didn't bother me, but I'm not a big fan of the mess.
But you were gonna say something that.
Oh sure. Part of it is like it's hard for me to work in a medium that's so permanent, and that's something that I'm trying to work on as a person, where it's like, just being okay with the marks you make and not like overanalyzing them, or or hating the final product, and then it becomes kind of like a self-fulfilling prophecy where you're worried about the end result, so now your line's shaky and it's not confident, and you need to have that confidence. And the digital, and it's not like I just go to digital and I can just Control Z everything, it's fine. It's like, I mean, I do a fair bit of Control Zing.
Is that a racing item?
Yeah, sorry. Okay. Undo. Yeah, let's just call it undo. Yeah. So I do undo a fair bit, but it's not like it gives me more confidence being able to just there's no pressure here. I don't need a new piece of paper. I don't need to do any of that. So there's that aspect of it, and I've always struggled with that side of me, and that's an idea that I try to put into like a lot of my work. Is about fear of failure, fear of just not being good enough, and
do you deal with like that imposter syndrome too?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Why am I on a podcast?
Well,
it's ridiculous.
I remember like you would go and you'd get your table in Artist Alley, and most of the time you'd just be there with the other Artist Alley, hey, Jim, whatever,
Yeah.
And then you'd be like, who's this guy next to me? They'd be like, oh, he works on Teen Titans. And you're like, why is he next to me?
Yeah. Cool story about that. So the way Granite State does it, there's the Artist Alley, and then there's the Armory Artist Alley.
Okay.
And they reserve that for people who have their own like IP and comics.
That's cool. And make. Yeah.
What that equals out to, though, is that all the big guys are in that tent. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's where Eastman's signing his books. That's where the guys who work for Marvel, et cetera, et cetera. So they're in there. And you don't have to be like a big guy. You just have to foot the bill.
Right. Yeah,
So, I'm sitting in the room next to like some people who I really respect, like Freddie Williams and John Samariva were there, which I love their work. And I'm sitting in there 2 tables from them. And it's really cool. And it even though I don't have like delusions that I'm as to their level or anything like that, but it's nice to be dealt with and treated the same way. Whereas some places like Anime Boston, they don't do that.
Yeah.
They have like the pro row.
Right.
Which is not only prohibitively expensive, but is like, innately elitist.
Right. And it's also like, I'm sure it's one of those, if you're that big of a pro, you didn't pay to be in pro row.
No, you got invited. Yeah.
I had, and it's one of those. It's nice when you can kind of just like mix in with them, like that, because they're just guys,
For real, yeah.
They're just people. I shouldn't say guys. That's sexist. Do you know who Jim Mahfood is?
Yeah, I follow. Well, would you call it his podcast?
Yeah. He's got a music podcast.
I don't know what we call ourselves. Bots. I'm a subscriber.
Okay.
Ink Pulp. Yeah.
So Inebri-art got started as a drink and draw.
Right. That's why I brought these.
Yes, which I appreciate. But he was like he wasn't quite one of the founders, but he was an early guy in the drink and draw movement. And so at some point I reached out, I'm like, hey, would you like to come on to this podcast? Blah, blah, blah. He's like, yeah, absolutely. So it kills me to this day that I didn't get this on recording because it was on Zoom, so I hadn't hit record yet. And I'm like doing my normal spiel. I'm like, we started as a drink and draw in Plymouth, right down the street from the blah blah blah, and he goes, yeah, I know. And I'm like, you know what? And he goes, I know who you are. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And he goes, oh, well, you had Wax Taylor on. He's like, I'm a big Wax Taylor fan, and a friend of mine sent me that episode, so I wanted to see who else you had on. So I was going through the list, and he's like, you had Doc Hammer. He's like, Doc's a friend of mine, so I listened to that episode. He's like, so I know who you are. And
look at you.
And in my massive coolness, I went, what do you mean? And he was such a nice guy about it. Like, it was so surreal.
That's awesome.
To be like such a fan of his work. And then him be like, yeah, I like your show.
Yeah, I submitted my work to those guys. They do a portfolio review on their Patreon.
On
Ink Pulp.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So
yeah.
he and Sean Crystal and oh my God, you'll edit this out. Scalera and Matteo Scalera.
I don't know where that's gonna get edited up, dude. I blank on names with the people I'm talking to.
Right. Okay. All right.
So don't feel bad at all.
Mateo's name is wild, but anyhow, and I did a portfolio review with them. They were very honest.
Yeah.
They were very blunt, but they were nice and helpful.
I tell you, that's one of those things where it's like you really have to, like, if you want to get good and get better, you have to be willing to put yourself on the firing line.
For real.
And I'll show work to friends, and they'll be like, "Oh, that's really cool," blah blah. And you're like, "Eh." But there's this one kid, Adam Miller, and I actually haven't talked to him in ages. But I would send him photos of work, and by the end, I'd be like, "All right, you can stop now."
Damn.
I mean, you're right.
Yeah.
But you don't have to.
Yeah,
punch me directly in the balls.
Critique is its own art form.
Oh yeah,
sure.
And it's you have to be like really, really ready and just accept it. And that's. Was there anything that they said or suggested that you're like, no, they're just wrong?
Jeez, you're blowing up my spot. Yeah. So I do think that there was some of that stuff, but I don't blame them for it.
Yeah.
I think maybe I didn't give them enough of a preamble. There were some parts where they didn't seem to understand exactly what I was trying to do.
Yeah.
So the advice doesn't
right
transfer over. There were some points too where they were saying some stuff, and then Matteo comes in. He's like, "Actually, guys, I think that he's trying to do this." And oh, okay. So it's like there were some points where I feel like we understood each other.
Yeah.
But there were other points. So, but I mean, they raked me across the coals for my lettering.
Okay.
Which it's not something that we really studied a bunch in school.
Yeah.
Not trying to like make an excuse.
Right.
It was a blind spot that I had, and thanks to them, like, I'm buffing it up for the third issue. Like,
nice.
I have a lot of feedback from them
that
I can now use to just immediately improve the third issue.
Yeah.
So I'm excited.
And that's especially when you're doing it all yourself. Like, I mean, the podcast, we had no idea what we were doing. We had no audio background. We're just like, fuck it, let's see what happens. And if you go way back and listen to the original episodes, we bought like a $60 omnidirectional mic, and it was fine. And then there's this distinct like weird break where suddenly, no matter what episode, it sounds like we're recording in like a hangar.
Nice.
And the thing that was killing me is like you could barely make out what we're saying. And at the time, my editor was there recording every episode, and then you would hear him like clear his throat, and it would come through crystal clear. And it took us forever to realize that even though we plugged in the microphone, we still had it recording off of his laptop's microphone. So it was just getting the noise in the room until like he would type something, and then it would be like yeah, it was fucking terrible.
That's awesome.
But it's just like you just don't know. You just don't know what you don't know until you give it a try. But
it's so cool because what are you, like 400 episodes in or something wild like that?
I think we're pushing 460,
and that's really cool.
Yeah,
from in a hangar to that.
Yeah, it's like the first 2 episodes, we were literally like, we don't know what we're doing. Let's take our two, like, I remember the first 2 episodes, there was a pair of artists. One was a jewelry maker and the other is like a painter and illustrator and a musician. And we brought them in because they're very personable, very charismatic, and they talk a lot. And I don't mean that in a bad way.
Yeah.
So it's kind of just like, hey, how you guys doing? I'm like, sweet,
No dead air.
Yeah.
That's the goal, right?
There have been some in 460 episodes, let me tell you, where you're like, what's the best venue you've ever played in? Oh, I don't know. That's a hard question.
Yeah.
Yeah, could you answer it?
I mean, I'm probably closer to that than the other people. But
No,
you're doing my best.
No, you're right where you should be, man. It's just there are a few, and I always tell my editor, I'm like, you can tell when it's a tough interview because they're under our normal time. Because it's really hard to get someone to, I don't want to say when they don't want to talk, but like when they're not accustomed, and it's tough because you're talking about yourself, and part of what I try to do is just make it feel like we're just having a conversation. You kind of forget, and we talk about whatever people want to talk about. We had Ben Goldsmith, I think is his name, his comic seance room. I can remember his comic name.
Oh yeah, maybe I listened to part of that. Yeah.
And we spent like the whole episode talking about like dead dads. And he's like, you didn't ask me who my favorite comic book creator is. I'm like, I don't care. Like, I don't really care who your favorite comic. Who gives a shit about that? This isn't a trivia. So it's more just kind of like, I love that it's going to go where it's going to go. And if we talk about craft beer, it's because that's what we want to talk about. And so
right on.
To me, that's the fun part.
Yeah.
But to do the bullshit PR stuff, like where can people go to get Shadowsphere?
Oh, sure.
Other than, oh wait, it's this weekend. There's no way this is gonna be up in time.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, well, if you're
never mind. Don't go to GraniteCon. I mean, go to GraniteCon next year.
Yeah, I'll see you all at GraniteCon next year. But so there's no way for you to order it online or anything.
Okay.
If you're interested in my work, you can check me out on. I have a TikTok and Instagram are the main ones that I use, and through either one of those, you should be able to get to reading my work on either Tapas or Webtoons. And if you want to support me directly, you can just DM me. I'm like a small-time guy. You can just slide into the DMs and say, hey, send me a copy, and I'll send you a copy. It's no big deal.
It's amazing. Like, there are some people that I've just slid into their DMs, and they get back to you, and you're like, oh, shit, I didn't think that was going to work.
Yeah.
That's how I got Doc Hammer. Do you know Venture Brothers?
Oh, okay.
So he's like one of the creators and like half the voices.
That's cool.
And so like I followed him on Facebook just because I like his stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And when someone is active, they get that little green dot next to their...
Yep.
And I happen to see that he was active, and I'm like, fuck it.
Pounced.
And I'm like, hey, would you like to be on our podcast? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, get the fuck out.
That's such a cool PSA for like, just do it. Just go for it. Yeah.
So many people are like, oh, how did you get so-and-so? And I'm like, I asked.
That's rad.
I mean, it's a little different now, and I don't nearly do it enough to reach out and try to get people. In the beginning, there was a lot of that. Now we get like press releases. So you're just like, oh, are they available for, But it just like, it's fairly easy to get emails of people.
Yeah.
Like if you kind of know the right places to look. And, it's like, sometimes you get even responses being like, oh, no, they're not available. And I'm like, I can't believe you took the time to respond back to me. That's crazy.
That's pretty cool, yeah.
My favorite story of that is, we get press releases from Tools PR, and I know they don't do interviews. And I got a press release. I don't know if they're going on tour, had a new album or whatever. And I'm like, oh, is Tool available for interviews? And I get back, oh, I'm not sure. Let me find out. And I'm like, get the fuck out. And then she responded, she's like, oh no, they're not currently doing press or whatever. And I'm like, oh my God, you asked them.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Either that or pulled the Seinfeld move on you.
Oh, that could be.
Yeah.
In my mind, she asked him.
No, I like that version
Yeah,
better.
because she could have just been like, no. And I would have been like, yeah, fine, whatever.
Yeah. Saves your time, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it's, but I mean, in the same aspect, it's like, with the comic book, it never hurts, you ask a store, be like, hey, can I put my comic in your store? Or, get the review or whatever. And it's sometimes that's all it takes. It's just an ask.
Yeah. All right. You've inspired me. I'm gonna assert myself at Granite State.
And it's one that's a lot tougher because it's so face to face.
Yeah.
And I've seen some crazy shit from people.
Yeah, comic book fans.
I don't know what made me think of
yeah.
this the other day, but I thought of it the other day. There was this kid, Jeff Moses. I think it was Moss. And his stuff was like really dark. I don't even know whatever happened to him. This is probably like 20-ish years ago.
Oh.
And it was at a show in New Hampshire at a hotel that had like a bar that had a pirate ship in it.
Pirate ship. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I don't know.
I'm sure someone in New Hampshire would be like, I know exactly where that is.
Yeah.
So this young kid, maybe 13, 14, is looking at his table, and he goes, nice artwork. And I mean that sarcastically. I thought Jeff was going to punch him in the head. I'm like, what? How? Why? Why would you do that? Like, what?
Oh, that's so crazy.
He was like, you just saw the steam coming out of, and he was kind of like a weird artsy dude anyways, but it was just like, wow, that's just fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Getting trolled by a 13-year-old.
Yeah, to your face.
Yeah.
That was a crazy, like online, you're like, whatever.
Yeah.
That was brutal.
I thankfully I haven't. I wish that's like a perfect segue into a story I have, but I don't. I've never had anyone be like super crazy to me.
Most people are really cool. I think the most common douche move I saw at cons, especially later on, was with like young artists, and someone would be talking like, oh, you do this digitally. Well, I do real art.
Oof.
That kind of, and you're like, whatever, boomer. Like,
yeah, that would bounce off. Yeah, I think that's funny.
Yeah, but I mean, that's it's there's always like this weird technology hate when something new comes around.
Yep.
And I was at Open Studios, and maybe New Bedford. So it's like this whole like building full of artist studios, and you just wander around.
Cool.
And I walked into one, and it was fascinating because it was all like they built models for museums. So it was all like these, military boats, and it's like it was just so cool. And there's 3 guys in there, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna fuck up their day. And so I'm like, how do you guys feel about 3D printing?
Oh, no.
And like 2 of them went off, and one got like really defensive, and I'm like, all right, bye.
Yeah. Just throwing a grenade and
exactly walked out of the room. Yeah, great. It was just like I knew 100% what was going to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, the only variance was they might have all hated on it, but I knew there was going to be like one guy who saw the value of it.
Right.
Yeah, that was super fun. It was a dick move, but I really enjoyed it. Are you going to be doing any other cons after Granite State?
I don't have any. I think I have maybe. I don't remember when or where, but I think I have just one more scheduled.
Yeah.
I applied for Mice and I got rejected, unfortunately.
Oh, bummer. Mice is a good one.
Yeah, Mice is a good. Well, okay. Actually, let me just dig myself deeper in the hole. I applied last year. I got rejected, and this year I missed the deadline by a day.
Okay. That happens.
I was really upset. Really upset.
I bet.
Because I had the chip on my shoulder for the whole year. I'm like, I'm getting in this year.
Yeah.
Nope. Didn't even give myself the opportunity. So if I see anything kind of smaller pop up, I'm kind of gearing towards smaller stuff right now.
You should check out. It's not a comic book show per se. It's Harry's Collectible Comics and Collectibles show. If you just put that into like Facebook or Google, whatever, you'll find it. It's been running, 30 years.
Oh, okay.
But it's at like a Knights of Columbus type, like it's, I don't know, maybe 35 tables.
Okay.
So it's, and again, I haven't done it in forever, but it's small, inexpensive. There's usually comic book dealers. Every once in a while you'll see someone there promoting their comic. And it's just kind of a smaller, low key.
Yeah.
And it runs like, I think it used to run like every third month or like 2 months on, 1 month off. So it happens like all the time throughout the year.
Oh, that's a cool. Yeah.
And the guy who runs it's a super good guy.
I'll write that down.
Yeah.
And what did you say that was? Or you don't know?
It used to be in South Attleboro, but then they moved it. And I want to say it's like Framingham area. But don't quote me on that.
That's still pretty good for me. That works, yeah.
Where are you out of?
Rentham.
Oh, okay.
We just moved back from New Hampshire, so now I can do stuff in Rhode Island really easily. So I'm really excited about the move. Actually, there's like nothing up in Maine.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So it's good to get out.
There used to be at Yoakum's. I think that was the name of the hotel. A Portland, Maine comic book show that happened like 4 times a year.
Oh.
And it was pretty big because there's nothing else going on up there.
Right. That's what it is.
So, yeah, it pulled a good crowd. Yeah, I I did the very first Rhode Island Comic Con.
The very first?
The very first one.
When was that? I mean, I don't need an exact date, but like, that's crazy.
Let's see. Were my kids born yet? Again, it was probably like 20 some odd years ago.
That's cool.
And the guy who runs it, this guy Steve, who I knew well enough at the time. I haven't seen him in years, but he booked the original Power Rangers, and at the time, like they had not done any show anywhere that I had ever seen.
The Power Rangers.
Yeah.
Okay.
And like a lot of vendors, like, oh, this stupid fucking Power Rangers. And I'm like, you watch, man. Like those kids who watch that are at the exact right age. They're all like 20. They have no responsibilities and money to burn.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing him at the after party, and he was like sitting on these stairs, and he was kind of like holding his head in his hands. And we're like, hey, Steve, what's going on? Blah, blah. He's like, hey. And we're like, what's going on? He's like, oh, well, I had estimated, I don't know, 3,000 people or something like that. And I'm like, I don't know. I feel like you hit that estimate. It shouldn't be hard. It's like we had 13,000 or whatever. It was like 10 times what he expected. No. And he was just like totally exhausted and like, I was like, holy shit. And now it's a monster.
What a cool problem to have.
Yeah, yeah.
And do you think the Power Rangers did that? Or
I think it had I mean, after that point, you almost never saw a con that didn't have a Power Ranger at it.
Yeah, even still now.
Yeah.
I think I wish I remembered. I'm not good with names either, but I think the Pink Ranger was at Granite last year. Con last year.
I mean, and there's so many of them. That's the other thing. It's like you can,
I didn't mean the OG.
Yeah,
okay. They've had several seasons.
I mean, you can have Power Rangers for days.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'd never seen them before. The number of people that are walking around with like Power Ranger gear on, and then since then it's like every show.
Yeah, and they make comics of them now. Power Rangers is so cool.
I'll take your word. My nephew was like a big Power Ranger kid, but
I still am a big fan. I like Power Rangers just fine, and then I also like they adapt the video footage from Japanese. And I still like the Japanese stuff. It's fun. It's this fun thing to watch where even though it's like really goofy and like what's the word? Melodramatic and but it has a lot of heart to it and a lot of craftsmanship in the visuals and the suits, and I highly recommend it to anyone. Like check out Power Rangers, check out
I remember
Super Sentai, Kamen Rider, like that's what this stuff is based on.
I remember God, my son was real little, so he's probably like, I don't know, 4 or 5. And I had him on the weekend, and we were watching TV, and it was his turn to pick something to watch. And he's like, oh, I want to watch Power Rangers. So he put in his Power Ranger DVD.
Yeah.
And it wasn't the original, because it wasn't the cackly witch woman.
Yeah,
whatever.
Rita.
Yeah. I'm like, it was this other female antagonist. And I'm like, damn, she's good looking. And he was so mad.
Oh.
No, she's the villain. She's the bad guy. And I'm like, yeah, she's cute. No, she's the bad guy. I'm like, all right, buddy.
It's funny that you say that because like a lot of the casting decisions made for the Japanese version are made with parents in mind. So like they will cast like these hot young male
really?
actors. So that when
that's
the moms
funny.
are watching TV with their kids on Saturday, they'll be like, "Oh,
So. But that's, I mean, having kids and having watched a lot of kid TV, there's a lot of like nods to the parents.
Yeah. And you know, by extension to you if you watch it again later.
Yeah,
you
for
know?
sure. Yeah. Did you ever watch Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends?
Yes, we didn't have cable. I grew up in like a shack, so we didn't have cable or anything crazy like that. But I did see it. I did see like episodes here and there.
Yeah.
Cool.
They have one whole end of an episode that is like almost shot for shot the Battle of Helm's Deep, which I fucking loved. I'm like, that's great. But there was one episode where they're in a bowling alley and they're like walking, and in the background is doing like the Flintstone thing where it's like couch and chair,
Just scrolling. Repeat.
Yeah. But it's like, you know, bowling balls on a bench, bowling balls on a bench, bowling balls on a bench, the Big Lebowski, bowling balls on a bench. And I was like, it was the dude. And my kids are like, what? I'm like, never mind. I mean, like, it was just so there for the parents.
I love that stuff. I didn't, like I said, we didn't have cable, but I've seen some Venture Brothers and I do like it.
Yeah.
There's a scene in Venture Brothers that's just a head nod to Chinatown. Have you seen that movie?
No, but
I think his name's Brock.
Yep.
The buff dude with the mullet.
Yeah.
He's slapping the shit out of this kid. Can I swear on here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I've been swearing all the time.
Okay, yeah. He's slapping the kid in the face, and it's like the climax of the movie Chinatown. And it's like, that's not for like a teenager on Adult Swim. Like that's for somebody like Chinatown's an old ass movie. Like
I mean, and that's part of what makes them so good.
Yeah.
Like there's an early episode where, do you know the character Phantom Limb?
Probably not by name.
So he's like this character. His limbs are invisible, and he's trying to sell a stolen piece of art. And the other guy's like, I want the Mona Lisa. And he's like, the Mona, it's so, this is such a better painting. And
I have seen this guy.
Yeah. And he's like, the Mona Lisa's only famous because it got stolen, and this one's stolen. It is a painting that was stolen from the Elizabeth Gardner Museum in Boston. But like, if you don't know, you don't know.
Right,
you know?
right. Okay.
But it's like such an inside art nerd thing that I was just like, that's ridiculous.
So yeah, I mean, and that's how you know, watching it again, that these people who make it, they really love what they make.
And it adds to that rewatchability where like you can pick up on something where you're like, oh shit, I never got that was a reference to something. Or like if I had watched Chinatown and then went back and watched, I've been like, oh shit.
Yep. All like the homages and the you know, people doing shots and, you know, when I say like, you know, the same composition of a shot and that kind of thing. It's great, and you don't know that the first time you watch it as a kid that it's a head nod to something.
Do you ever
else.
try to work any of that into your comic?
Yeah, I can show you one intentional
for sure.
right here. I mean, it's a podcast, but I can show you.
You can show me. That's amazing.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So, I mean, you Full Metal Alchemist? You familiar with that?
I know of it.
That manga. So, like, you know, this basically right here is an homage to the end of the first chapter.
Okay.
You know, Ed's fighting a chimera, and he rips off his cloak and reveals his like metal arm.
His metal arm.
That's the whole thing.
Okay.
So this isn't a reveal of anything like that, but it's the, you know,
it's that kind of
composed
same.
similarly. Yeah. So,
and that's like the guy whose brother's in a robot.
His brother is in a suit of armor.
Okay.
He transmuted his soul into a suit of armor.
Okay. Yeah. All right. See, I know.
Yeah.
Manga is one of those things that I have tried.
Yeah. And
it's, even when it's a good, interesting story, I lose interest because of the cultural differences.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And friends of mine were trying to get me into Dora Hedora.
I've heard of it, but I haven't read it. Yeah,
kind of a cool story, and there's wizards and zombies and whatever. But I'm like, they stop every 8 pages to eat.
Yeah, manga has a definite filler problem.
And then there's half a book where it's like, oh, let's go play baseball. And you're like, what is going on? And it's just like, I couldn't get those weird cultural things. And I'm just like, this is dumb.
Yeah. And it's also, a lot of those are made, how do I want to say this? They have extremely grueling and unfair deadlines that they have to keep up with, a lot of these things.
Oh, yeah.
So you'll find that they'll stretch plot out.
Just so they can get the page count right or whatever.
I guess I can't speak to the motivations, but that seems to me like what's going on is that things are getting stretched out because you don't want to catch up too quick, and you don't want to just burn yourself out getting to all the crazy stuff.
Which is interesting because I kind of came from, growing up in the 80s, like Speed Racer was like one of our introduction to Japanese animation. And you're always like, it just seems like something's missing from this show, and to find out like they edit out like chunks that they thought were too violent or inappropriate or whatever, and not like built around it. They're just not there.
Yeah, the 90s and 2000s are like just awful for that. Just completely just editing stuff out and cutting like characters. It's just crazy.
Yeah. It's but it is what it is. We're over time.
Oh, okay.
But I don't edit it. I don't mind. Sorry, fish. So listeners, make sure you check out Shadowsphere wherever you can find it. Michael Abatsis.
Yeah.
I was pretty close.
That was good. Yeah.
I'll take it. That's a win in my column. Check out his book. If you're headed to Granite State Comic Con in 2026, make sure you stop by his table, pick up episode issue 3. Hit him up on socials and buy his comics. I know he said you can read them online, but buy his comics, support him.
Yeah, do that.
Yeah, do that. Send him money. Just read it and mail him money.
And then let's get this started. No, and then can you put like my socials in your
we'll put them into the show notes.
Okay,
and,
perfect.
Again, that's Fish's job to figure that out. So
right on.
Cool. Yeah,
and I'll
do you want like hyperlinks and photos? No. I love making him have more work to do. But yeah, that's it. Thanks for coming in, man.
Oh yeah, thanks for having me. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, cool.
I appreciate
awesome.
it.
And when issue 3 does come out, or maybe we'll record next summer before Granite State.
I like where
so then we can like be like, hey, stop by Granite State.
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
okay, that'd be great. I'll come.
Because I was gonna be like, oh, that's like in 2 months. That might be too soon. If you want it out by the end of the year.
Oh yeah, gotcha.
It's only like 2 months away.
I was like,
you know that, right?
No. I thought you meant the next one.
No.
Like, oh no, wait, what's going on?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So cool. All right. That's pretty much it.
Perfect.
Bye. And thanks for checking out the show today, listeners. If you enjoyed the content today, you can go over to patreon.com/Inebri-art to support the show. You can join over there for just a few dollars a month and help us provide this fun content that you just checked out. You can also email us at Inebri-art.com with your questions, complaints, and concerns, or you can find us on all social medias at Inebri-art or at Inebri-art6 on Instagram. And also don't forget to check out our other shows, Bar Talk Podcast, Old Colony Cast, Inebri-art, and all the other shows on the Inebri-art Network, which you can find at Inebri-art.com. Thanks again for listening.